Hey family, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Cut Nice 50, and this is one-on-one with Cut Nice 50. It's up late, but we just want to go ahead and get out another amazing video review. If you're new to the channel, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Today, man, we're gonna tackle Tiphani Montgomery, and she's responding to critics. It's on the We Need to Talk podcast. And one thing about Tiphani is she does speak a lot of truth. You know what I mean? I don't know much about her. I hear the critics. I hear them calling her a false prophet, all this and that. But I myself, I don't like to pass judgment on people because you never know their walk, you never know their assignment. But I do know that the Bible does say in the last days there will be prophets, prophetess, people interpreting dreams, all this and that stuff that I do believe personally. I don't know about you, but share your thoughts. Let me know what you think about Tiphani Montgomery. She's responding to critics. I know a lot of women actually follow this young lady. But when she's going about biblical scripture, I mean, she's amazing at that and her interpretation of some of the Bible verses that I had actually seen. So I come in peace, but we're going to dive into this video. Already watched maybe 43 minutes of it, but we're not going to review everything. But hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's go ahead and see what she had. Some things that was displayed in the Bible. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Hopefully y'all are entertained about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Pay attention. It's about to get entertained. Let's go. Now, that's one thing. You know, like I say, I believe in the Bible. I do believe that people get messages from God. But I just have a question. How many of people out there today actually heard the voice of God telling them that they're a prophet? Was it in dreams? How did it occur? Now, when I was saved again or dedicated my life back to God in the church, I know you do have those personal reconnections with Him. And, you know, myself personally, I've always been a believer. I never deny or denounce knowing God and knowing that He's protecting me because I couldn't have been here. Shot, stabbed, ran over by cars, all kind of things you couldn't even imagine. But I'm still here. 45 Magnum bullet by my head, a cotton pillow just stopped it from going into my head. So it's plenty of stories that I can share that I know that I was protected. Science can't explain it. Nobody can explain it. So it's only by the grace of God that I'm still here, living, breathing, and talking. So I can't deny. I just didn't know too much about the people who call themselves prophet and prophetess today because it seemed like everybody out there now that's on a tag social media. You look at it, everybody's one. They're saying they're getting messages from God, but I don't think it's our job to judge these people. We take them at their word because if you're lying on God, that punishment is worse. You just go to any scripture. What the Bible say about people who are intentionally misleading His flock, it's no redemption for them. So I just tend to take their word for face value, listen to what they're saying. And she's talking about scripture. She's not saying nothing wrong. Her delivery is still accurate. It can be her tone and the way the words she's utilizing for the delivery is what most people seem or appear to seem to have a problem with it. I never call a person a false prophet because I don't know their walk with God. I don't know their mission. I don't know what they've been anointed or gifted to do. But it's obvious that this young lady it's been gifted to do something. Her words do move, whether you like it or hate it, or you think she is false. I don't think she lied about too much and nothing yet that I heard. And I don't watch maybe 4 or 5 videos of it, doing more research. And this one right here he's asking some tough questions out there. But let's go ahead and continue. Share your thoughts. Let me know.
Help. I know I have a dream and it happens the next day. I could have a dream about a tsunami and it happens 72.
You actually getting visions. That's a whole different other thing. That I gotta agree with her on here, man. I don't care what people say about me, what they can speak, whatever, judge, condemn, whatever they want to say about me. I'm always going to treat them with kindness. It's nothing in this world that's going to deny my faith in God. Because like I said before, the things that don't happen to me in my life, it's nothing that science or anybody else can prove, say, do. You know, it's just only by the grace of God. That's the only thing I can say. But share your testimony about the same thing in the comments below. Do you agree with it? You know, I know there's a lot of people, especially when it comes to sexual orientation, going to the church, they've been discriminated, all this and that about it. Or in Atlanta, it's all open, but that's still up to interpretation, the struggles that you go through in your own personal life. Me, I'm not a judger. That's not my gift. I'm always be calm, peaceful. I'm always treat people with respect, no matter what, because that's your life. It's free will for a reason. That's why you can make the choices that you want to live by your life. We all are wrong in some aspects. So I always tend to believe that my gift was calmness, treating people with respect, dignity, not judging. I don't care who you are, what you did, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to treat you with respect. At the same time, I don't believe it's my ability or in my I don't believe that we're made to judge others like that. I know that God is, and maybe I'm wrong in that aspect, but I just know me. It's not in me to judge or condemn somebody else for something they doing in their own personal life. I'm always be a protector of kids and people who can't protect themselves. So let's go ahead and continue. Share your thoughts on that and what is your gifts and what you think that you're best at when it comes to your attributes or characteristics provided by God. Let's go.
Bye.
And that is hard. Pluck out, root out, and destroy, but all for the kingdom. You know what I mean? And I get it, tat language coming from a female, different tones and the way you say things, it doesn't seem ethical right now in today's standard. But it doesn't bother me. I'm that type of person. I was raised a little hardcore, but I don't get offended by nothing. It's no word that nobody can say this gonna actually offend me, get me out my character. But that's me. I want to hear the word. I want to hear the message that you're saying. And if I can understand that, then I can get to what's the root cause of the meaning, the message that you're actually portraying to others. But let's go. Share your thoughts on that. Did you know a difference between these prophets, prophetess, inspirational leaders in the Bible, different description of these different people within the church, meaning the critics, everybody else coming from you from all sorts of angles, all kind of different things being portrayed upon you on the media, news, your family and friends, death threats, stuff like that. I think that's what she's more inclined that's what she's talking about, not just physical death, but that's
take a right hand, shake it out.
I mean,
how many people here want to learn faster?
I'm making some good questions out there, and she's actually answering them. Like I said before, be with it, man. Like I say, you don't have genuine people out there, so I guess everybody thinks all these pastors, prophets, people, inspirational leaders are all the same, and that's what the mix-up comes in. She's talking about the inspirational leaders out there. You got these Todds and all these other people you see how they doing all these different displays, and you need money to do it. I just think I seen a pastor in the church talking about if you don't tithe something, it was something ridiculous. Don't tithe to the poor, but the Bible definitely tells you that you're getting blessed if you treat them, if you are a provider for the poor. So it's so many false preachers out there and pastors and people of the church. That's why it's so contradicting. That's why people don't want to be associated with people who call themselves Christians or who are in the church today, just because the hypocritical nature that we see day in and day out. But as a believer, even through that, generally you get the discernment. You can see false people, but you can always see genuine people also. 25 years law enforcement plus observe and report. That that's just the basics from everything that I get to do. I don't see this in this young lady. Maybe she's a great actress, but I think if you actually love God, you wouldn't try so hard to fight for him, to prove your innocence and stuff like that. I myself personally, I wouldn't have nothing to prove. I'd be like, it is what it is. You can say whatever the case, but I know the facts. I don't have to prove myself, but certain people don't operate the same. This is a young lady, and she's providing the facts, telling you to do your own research. So everybody keeps certain things private. That's your own personal right. But everything is not, we're not entitled to knowing other people's business. That's just one thing. That's what I feel about, when the movement started going towards this sexual orientation. That used to be private stuff. Why is it a big deal now publicly creating more of a divide than helping other people. That's just my own thing. But let's go ahead and continue to share your thoughts and let me know what you think. And that's one thing I commend on, just saying that a lot of pastors don't teach about that. Like myself personally, me and my wife, our tithes, generally, if we see somebody homeless, somebody in need, we'll be more willing to give to them who actually need it, who actually gonna utilize funds or whatever else we got on us at that time, right then, at the moment. We know it's going to for a right reason, a righteous cause, and we don't want anything about it. No accolades, no nothing. We don't even say nothing about it, but it's a normal thing for us to do. Instead of, I actually work on Sundays instead of going to a church. Like a little bit of change from going actually to a physical church from COVID to working back on the weekends to my son Titan, who's 2 now. So of course, the lifestyle does matter, but attending online, doing more research and everything else does come into play. And I always had a need to do that as far as tithes and offerings because there's an old, and I like small churches. They used to preach that, yes, you can give to the church, but generally it's only a certain percentage. Most of your percentage should be in shepherding the flock or providing for the poor or your environment, community, doing services, not necessarily monetarily, if that makes sense. But let's go ahead and continue. Share your thoughts on tithes and offerings and what you think about it, what you've been led to believe, and what's your biblical. Yeah, and I get on that now. I don't know anything about it, so wouldn't know if she's wealthy or not. It's just a sad time because we can't put wealthy with doing good in this world right now that we live in because we know a lot of people with money, they don't do different things for the right reasons, if we can say that. When it comes to these top celebrities and everything else out there, we see them, flashy cars, this and that, materialistic things, but not substance. So it's a rare few that you actually see doing something and not asking for anything. That's genuine people out there, and it's still some, but they don't never get the shine that they need to. But let's go ahead. I'm a big believer in fast. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do my 30-day fast January the 1st starting off. 30 days is going to be a rough one because it's going to be cold. Your body temperature drops also when you're doing a fast. But I believe in everything she's saying when it comes to the spiritual fast. You do it for whatever reason, problems, illnesses, everything else. But it's an entitlement generation that we live in. So we're not entitled to give out nothing we don't want to give out. Well, about your own personal life, but it's your decision if you're that kind of sharer. You know what I mean? So I think it's boundaries that always have to be set. I got to agree with it because certain things, depending on what job that I have, I wasn't a big share regardless. And there's certain things that you just don't talk about ever. You know what I mean? But she's on point right here. She's making an excellent point. Certain things we share a little bit, know what I'm saying? But when you're when you're in the thick of it, maybe once you retire, get older, you might start sharing. But generally, I think in all facets of life, especially when it comes to religion and everything else like that, you got people, just like she's saying, are fighters. You got people who are, consultant, consult other things. I mean, it's just different levels of people all over. But let's go ahead and let her cook. I think I'm gonna end this one right here. It's getting a little too long. And this ain't the first time I heard Kamala was a witch or whatever the case may be. It's old paintings of this lady, and she had on like the same colors. It's out there on social media. Y'all can research it for yourself. But I believe in these things right here. What's my guy? Kim Clement. I did a video about that not too long ago. His prophecy that Trump was going to win. He even proclaiming this from 2007 that they're getting ready to put a witch in the White House. So, I mean, it came true. I can clearly see, certain people, we can see different things, but something is off about this young lady. Maybe she's being utilized, but you just never know in today's time what people's motives or their reasons for it. She just doesn't seem genuine to me. If you run off of identity politics, whatever the case, and then it goes out the window, the things they were saying about it was just too much. That's why I don't do politics, period. But all things work in the will of God. He's going to he can use anybody. But let's go ahead and let it finish. We're going to wrap it up. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like, with stuff like this, I just always advise Tiffany, don't go to these people pages. You're gonna have trolls out there, but you're gonna have people who are actually legitimate. Delivery can make a difference, especially when it's coming to older people. You know that. I know that. We all know that when we're getting older. But your message is your message.
I went back and I posted all of her screenshots of this. And I said, you didn't tell nobody you was a witch. And I said, all of you believers who came into agreement with a witch against me will be held accountable to God for this. You think she ever went back on being a witch?
Now, that's one thing right there. I guess I don't want to say it's retaliation, but the deliverance with it. I think some people receive that message just with her saying that it's mean or it's, hey, you judged me, so now you're going to be judged by God or something like that. Like it's a retaliation for going against a human. Even if you're a proclaimed prophet or whatever else, other people might not see it, believe it, or don't even know your story or your testimony. So I just be, if I was one of our counselors, I'd just be tell her to be mindful of that part right there. You're still entitled to say whatever you want to say, regardless. But just the perception of using threat or using God as a weapon, we already know. The Bible already said if you could come against her prophets and prophetess or people who are actually doing God's will and His work, He's going to protect you from all enemies and everything else. So He's going to make you. He's going to always protect you and lift you up. So people understand that part. It's just the delivery in the way she just said that a lot of people probably will not like. It doesn't faze me, regardless, because I'm not a judger. I'm not gonna judge or condemn somebody for it. But I can see what they're talking about with that. If you're looking at it on the opposite spectrum. I mean, I'm on nobody's side when it comes to politics, and she could be right about Elon. I thought the same thing because we already know the Antichrist is here. He's walking around us, and he's gonna be either smart or genius, very charismatic. But I don't know if it's even Elon. He's too much in power right now. I'm thinking one person I don't really like, no politicians, is my guy, Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm gonna do a couple videos on him. I actually like this guy, and I don't like no politicians. So I don't know what it is about it because everybody is supposed to be deceived by this person who we call the Antichrist. Whether you believe it or not, it's the last days right here. But she's gonna go about this church that's coming up during the pandemic, pastors, ministers, everything else, forcing people, their congregation, to get it and do the jab. We all know this. I don't believe in stuff like that, period. They're shutting down their ministry. But maybe I'll just save that for part two. So we'll just go ahead and end that here. It's getting late right here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is part one to Tiphani Montgomery response to critics. Share your thoughts. Let me know what you think about it. If you got any questions about it, I didn't know this young lady called herself a prophet or prophetess, or anything else like that. But I think she just called herself a prophet, and everybody else calls her a prophetess because she is a female. But I know there's it, so I can't say she is or she isn't. Only she can say that, but I'll just judge her fruit by what she says and her acts. That speaks volume to no matter the delivery, what comes out, it's a message, and is she biblically sound about what she's saying? I think my guy, Smart Christians, everybody else, they do a lot of things on there. And I don't know if they say she is definitely a false prophet, but they get on about the language she used, which most of she's using it intentionally. So we know that, but that doesn't mean that prophets or prophetess is going to do everything right. They're still up to, correction, advisement, or doing things in a better light. They still human, so they're gonna have all these same flaws and characteristics. But we know God can use anybody, so I don't even take that into account that she's using foul language or whatever the case may be. Just because the delivery that comes out, she does it for a dramatic effect to get her message out, to reach more people, to grow her her followers or whatever the case may be. But like she said before, she's not a pastor. She's not a faithful leader. She calls herself a prophet, and she gets the word and she speaks out there. So I think she might be on to something when it comes to all these female like Jackie Hill Perry. I like Jackie Hill Perry. I don't think Jackie Hill is a pastor or whatever she calls herself. She could be a prophetess or inspirational leader because she is gifted in that type of way. And we all see her struggles and the things she lived in her life. But those are the type of people that God used. They always have a traumatic experience in their life before God actually touches and heals them and use them to bring more people to their flock. Don't know what this is flying around, but hey, I'm gonna stop rambling on. It's your boy Cutting Edge Video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Stay tuned to part 2 of this video right here. Let's go.